7.9 for him. But what have you continued to see from him through these first 6 games, just how he's able to find the basket and find those open looks?
He's a walking bucket. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain people that have a knack for putting the ball in the basket, all sorts of ways. And, the kid is not afraid of the biggest moments. When, we needed a basket, he went and manufactured a basket. And that's a unique skill. And we ought to praise that skill because it helps you on nights like this. We were struggling from the field, having a hard time scoring. Guys were scrapping and fighting, but we couldn't get it going on the offensive end. And so it was great to have, a Colin like that, weapon like that can, go get a bucket on demand. And obviously, in the offseason, we talked about improvements in his off-ball movement. How have you continued to see that growth, through the first few 6 games? Sorry. I think it's been there, and it's going to make his job easier. The more he can move off the ball, the harder it would be for defenses to just set up and stare at him. So him being able to play off the ball and then getting some sort of action and bringing him to the ball, now the defense is already on their heels, and now he can go be in attack mode.
And one more for me, defensively in the second half, what was the biggest difference that you saw that just kind of helped change the momentum for you guys?
I thought JaVale was unbelievable defensively. He came in and he showed our guys, what it looks like to be a winner. He made plays down the stretch, and what that did was it elevated people to want to go and compete and scrap with him. So everybody that was on that floor saw him and took the challenge of their own because they didn't want to be the guy that wasn't doing the job. So I think that was a big part of what we did. He was huge for us.
Angel, go ahead.
Thank you. Angel Gray, Fox Sports Ohio. Coach, I'm sorry if you've already answered this question, just jumping on, but your team went on a 42-21 run to close the game. When you are asking of them the grit, the fight, and the composure down the stretch, how did they grow? What was said to them, or what did you see for this 42-21 run to occur?
When we came into the locker room at halftime from our coaches meeting, we asked what they thought, and we got their opinion. And they said that they had already discussed it. They knew what we needed to do. They knew we needed to move the ball. They knew we needed to play together. They knew we needed to scrap. My challenge to them was then take words to action. Those things are easy to say, but much more difficult to do. And they went and they took words to action.
Coach, a couple of the unsung heroes in this as well. I know that we've mentioned JaVale McGee and how huge he's been as far as energy. So please, by all means, mention him. But Dean Wade and then Dante Exum stepping in and even Jetty hitting big shots. What did they show you in this game that makes you earn them gain more trust in you?
I think it's, a willingness to do whatever it takes to win, a willingness and courage to take the shots when they need to take the shots. I thought that Dante was phenomenal defensively on Trae Young. Executing game plan things, taking away 3-point shots and defending him without fouling him. That was huge. And it allowed us to do a lot of different things off the ball with matchups because, he was able to do a great job individually on Trae Young, who we know is a heck of a player.
Joe G, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, Joe G, Cavs.com. I want to ask you just about sorry, I blanked it out. I'm sorry about that, Coach.
All right, no problem.
We'll go to Fedor.
Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. JB, you held the league's #1 offense to 30 points below their season average tonight. How did you do that?
I mean, it wasn't looking good early. But, again, I think our guys, they want to compete and they really care. There was game plan things that we did that we needed to execute that I thought we did a good job of executing. They didn't get many uncontested threes. That was something that we talked about. In today's league, you really can't stop people from taking a lot of threes because they're going to just, they're going to shoot them regardless. But I thought they didn't get a lot of open threes, which led to their percentage being lower than normal. I thought we did a really good job of not fouling them, but fouling the right people when it was necessary, right? They get a lot of points from the free throw line. We took care of the basketball for the most part and gave our defense an opportunity to set in the half court and execute the game plan.
JB, was the plan on Trey to make him more of a passer as opposed to a scorer?
It was do the best we could, right? Show him as many crowds as we possibly could, and just make it difficult for him. The key to it was, limiting his three-point attempts, but doing a great job of not fouling him. He gets a ton of free throws, obviously, and that impacts the game. So we wanted to make sure that we kept him off the free throw line and made him play in as many crowds as we could.
JB, I'm sure you know this. Colin Sexton has become one of the most criticized players on your roster. Talking about shooting too much, not passing enough. What can you say about his performance offensively, especially in the fourth quarter where you needed it to get to the finish line?
I truly believe that it's disrespectful about, things that people say about him. I think people are looking for an excuse and he just happens to be the target. Colin is a great human being. He's a great teammate, and all he cares about is the right thing and winning basketball games and competing. And that's all that matters to him. So for those who criticize him, it's a shame, to be honest with you. He has a unique skill that, 90% of our league can't roll out of bed and get you 20 points. He can. Tonight, we were struggling in the fourth quarter to score, and he can go and manufacture a bucket. And if you can't appreciate that and respect that, that's on you. That's not on Colin. And, is he going to continue to grow and get better? Yes, that's our job to help him. But, to say anything negative about that kid is more commentary on those people than it is on Colin.
And then my final question, with Dante going in the starting lineup, how much of that had to do with the fact that that was the guy that you needed against Trey in this particular matchup? And because of the way that he performed against Trey, how much does it make you think about him being the quote unquote stopper, or whatever you want to call him, in those kinds of matchups?
I think he's a heck of a defender. He's extremely intelligent. He's got great length, and he's committed, to trying to go out and get the job done. The NBA is a very difficult league, and even when you play your best defense, some nights, these elite players are going to be able to get off. But I give, Dante, it wasn't just this assignment. It was the idea of him on Brogdon. We have a ton of respect for his ability to guard and his ability to take challenges.
Joe G, come back to you.
Yeah, sorry about that, Coach. Game about not having some of your guys and guys that do things really well. How great is it to have Larry Nance Jr., a guy who can do everything well and kind of fill a lot of those gaps in?
Yeah, he is the glue. He is the guy that keeps the engine running. He keeps the ball moving on offense. He's talking on defense. He's getting extra possessions and offensive rebounds and steals and deflections. He wants success for everybody. He wants us to be a good team. So he's willing to do whatever it takes to help us become that. And fortunate for us, he has the ability to go along with it and have nights like he did tonight and really impact the game on a lot of different fronts.